What's up, y'all? It's your girl Meci, and I'm back with another episode. To my new people, hey y'all, I'm Meci. To my Meci blessings, welcome back, y'all. As you read by the title, seen by that thumbnail, we are doing a different video today. So I am going to be sharing with you guys scriptures to help you become her or that girl, or just make you feel like her, like nobody can touch you. Okay, now I wanted to be very intentional with this video, so I didn't really want to just go and pick scriptures that I just have never read ever before in the Bible, or don't even like memorize or anything. So there is one that I recently just learned, and I mentioned it in my last vlog, so I'm gonna go find that one. And I only have, that'll make 5 scriptures that I have for y'all, and of course I'm gonna expand on and let y'all know how these scriptures can help you become her, how these scriptures can help you become that girl. Okay, so I am going to look up, I know 3 of these by heart, and I'm learning the new one that I just mentioned in my previous vlog that I have to get for y'all, but I want to read it word by word. So I am going to look up each scripture that's going to help y'all become her, period. Okay, so the first scripture that we have is Jeremiah 29:11, and I literally live by this scripture, literally. So Jeremiah 29:11, the New International Version states, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Whenever life just seems like it's just, or I'm not even gonna say that because life is amazing, but whenever it feels like I'm just never gonna meet certain goals that I have for myself, I refer back to this scripture, because at the end of the day, we may not know the plan that God has for us, but just know that God has a plan for you. God has a calling over your life. He has a purpose that is attached to you, specifically you, and nobody can ruin what God has for us. So if you're ever in your head like, God, am I ever going to do this? Am I ever going to do that? Maybe not, because the plan that you have for yourself may not be the plan that God has for you. But just remember that the plan that God has for you will always be bigger and better than the plan that you will have for yourself. Prime example, you might have a plan to own a house, own a house that you can, live in, or whatever the case may be, or, own a house that you can rent out, own a house that you can buy and sell, whatever the case may be. That's your plan for yourself, but God's plan for you might be for you to own a duplex, or own land to build apartments on, or own suites. That's bigger than the plan that you have for yourself. So if you are struggling with just seeing the future, or thinking your future is not going to be bright, Jeremiah 29:11 will always remind you that you are her, and God knows that you are her as well, because that's why he has this plan for our future. Okay, so I always revert back to Jeremiah 29:11. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." God will never put you in a position to where he wants you to be harmed. Okay, so that's my first scripture that's gonna help you become her. Okay, now this another one, it got me through a whole bunch of hard times. I'm telling you, it got me through a lot of hard times. Okay, so my next one is going to be Romans 8:18. It says, actually, I do not like this version. Hold on. Oh, hold on. That's the wrong scripture. It's not Romans 8:18. So the scripture that I am referencing is, "The pain that you've been feeling can't compare to the joy that's coming." So let's figure out, it's in Romans, but let's figure out what scripture that is. Okay, it is Romans 8:18. Look at me. Doing a little bit of my word. Okay, yes, you guys, it is Romans 8 and 18. The pain you've been feeling can't compare to the joy that's coming. Stop focusing on your now and just try to, and if you are going to focus on your now, try to look at the good in your now and try to remember that you're just in a season, and this season will not last forever. The rain does not last forever, okay? The sun has to eventually shine. So if you are in a season where you feel like it's just this dark cloud that's over you and you feel like you are never going to get out of it, remember Romans 8 and 18. The pain that you're feeling now will not compare to the joy that you'll feel later once you come out of the season that you're in. So always remember there's always light at the end of the tunnel, okay? This scripture will help you become her, okay? Because it'll make you remind yourself, okay, what I'm going through right now is not going to last forever, okay? Period. Now this next one, I don't know this one at all, so I'm assuming I may have gotten this from the word at church, but I wrote it down and we're gonna see if it's the scripture that I'm trying to reference. It is, and the pastor just, you know, introduced this scripture to me on last Sunday because I didn't know it. So it is Exodus 14 and 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Okay, we need to learn how to let God do what he does. Okay, let him lead, let him do his part. You do your part, you let him do his part, because at the end of the day we have to trust God like we say we do, because if we don't, then why are we constantly trying to get in the way when he's trying to work? I always reference this scripture. The Lord will fight for you. You only need to be still. You don't need to do anything. You need to let your Father show you that he is your Father and that he is going to have everything handled and taken care of, okay? Period. Now my last one, no, I got two more. My next one is, this is one that I learned as a little girl. And I just recently started to understand it in my adult years. So the next one is going to be Proverbs 3 verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not into your own understanding. We'll just do verse 5, because I realize when we lean into our own understanding, that's when so much gray area comes into play. God is not a gray God, and I've said this before. When God, you know, says something, is going to be clear as day. But when we lean into our own understanding and we listen to the flesh and we let the flesh get in the way, that's when the issues start arising. We're told not to lean into our own understanding, because leaning into our own understanding does nothing for us. If we are being honest, it does nothing for us but cause confusion, and God is not a God of confusion. So refer back to Proverbs 3rd chapter, the 5th verse. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not into your own understanding. Okay, we want something that's clear. It's just like when you're dating, you want someone that's going to be straight up. You want someone that's going to be clear. Okay, you don't want to lean to your own understanding and just assume, because when you assume, that's when you get hurt. It's the same thing with God, you know. I'm just saying. Okay, my last one is the one that I don't know at all, and it's the one that I actually discovered last week when I just opened my Bible up and I started reading, and I'm like, oh, I love this. And this will really go with, helping you become her. Okay, the last one that we have, Proverbs chapter 22 verses 24 through 25, and it says, do not make friends with a hot-tempered person. Do not associate with one easily angered, or you may learn their ways and get yourself ensnared. It's very important to be mindful of the company that you keep. We don't want to become our company. We always want to be the best versions of ourselves. So always be mindful of who you surround yourself with. And the older I get, the more I'm like, I want to surround myself with like-minded people, just good-hearted people. I don't want to be around someone who's messy, or who wants to sit up and gossip, or who wants to sit up and talk about people. I am trying to become the best version of myself, and in order to do that, we have to make sure that we're surrounding ourselves with some of the best people who are trying to become the best version of themselves. Okay, it's like the term in the Bible, equally yoked. I don't just look at that as a relationship. Well, I do look at it as a relationship, but all relationships, friendships, you know, with a spouse. Bentley, what you got? With a spouse, it doesn't matter. You want to become equally yoked with the people that you're around, you know. So that's it. I hope these scriptures help y'all become her, help y'all become that girl, help y'all remember that y'all will always be that girl because of who y'all father is. Okay, so that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next episode.